Okay, we'll go ahead and start with Haynes King. Questions, Kelly?
You've been making the media rounds, obviously, lately. What has it been like to get so much more attention this season? And obviously it reflects on the success you guys have had on the field, but just what's that been like for you?
I mean, that's always good, and it just goes to show you're doing something right. You know, when you're getting a lot of attention, a lot of exposure, you're doing something right. And you know, obviously, so far we are, 5-0. That's our record, and trying to make it 6-0 this weekend.
Chad?
You were talking about a conversation you had with Coach Winkie about staying focused, not believing the hype. Can you sort of divulge that about those conversations with Coach, not letting outside noise get to you?
I mean, the main deal, you know, he tries to preach to us every day is, you know, you got to fight human nature. You know, when you're having success, how are you going to fight human nature to keep working, to keep trying to get better, to elevate yourself, elevate your practice, your preparation, and the way you play. So that's really it, just pretty much trying to fight human nature and try to find different ways to keep improving.
Rod?
I think I read somewhere that you were recruited by Coach Montgomery, you and your family. What was that experience like, and, what was your feelings after you had been recruited by him? I mean,
he's a great guy. He runs a great program, and he's done a really good job since he's taken over there at Virginia Tech. He's a great coach, like I said. I was never really on a team that he's coached before, but from the little experience that I've had, he's a great person, great human being, great coach.
Coming out of the bye week, I mean, just what's the mentality of this team? I know you have a momentum, I guess you could say, just after 5 strong weeks, but then you hit the bye week. But it's like, how do you guys come out and maintain that momentum that you had in the first part of the season?
Really, it just goes into, practice and preparation. In the quarterback room right now, the motto for the week is elevate. How are you going to elevate the way you prepare, the way you watch film, the way you practice? Because once you do that, now you're detail-oriented. You're finding little things that you need to improve on or that you need to keep doing, stuff like that. So I'd say the biggest one is just, through our motto this week with the quarterbacks, just elevate and pushing everybody else around us, whether it's pushing the tempo in practice or just pushing people in general to get better and continue to play at the standard that we do.
What's just your early thoughts just on the matchup against Virginia Tech, just tackling them defensive secondaries continue to get better throughout the weeks on film? Just what's your thoughts on Virginia Tech and matching up against them defensively?
Based off film, we know this is going to be a 4-quarter game. They're a really good defense. They give us a lot of looks up front, and they try to disguise coverages on the back end. And they do a really good job at it. And then a couple third down blitzes that they have, it'll give really everybody issues, So they do a really good job defensively. So we definitely got to dot our I's and cross our T's against this team.
Did you guys spend time during the bye week trying to maybe figure out what the little kinks are that are keeping you guys from being more consistent offensively drive to drive? It seems like there's a flag or a bad first down or something, you guys get thrown off schedule, and then that kind of snowballs. Is there a way to kind of tweak that so you guys are more consistent drive to drive offensively?
Oh, for sure. Every bye week, we do a really good job of self-scouting, and self-evaluating ourselves. So that's number one, looking at yourself in the mirror, like what do we do? What is our tendencies? What are we struggling in? What are we doing good? So we can either get better or keep doing those things. So that was step number one. And then with the executing part, trying to take stuff from meetings to walkthrough to now practice, and then eventually to the game.
Did you see Wake Forest against Virginia Tech, and if so,
did you see them trying to do anything differently than they did against you?
Wake Forest, like defensively?
Their offense against Virginia Tech's defense.
I didn't watch much of Wake Forest's offense versus us, but they're, like I said, a like last 2 weeks ago. You know, Wake Forest has a really good coaching staff. They try to put their guys in the right situations, best situations, and then as a team they play really, really hard. And I mean that's what I saw from watching the game so far. You know, like I said, their coaches trying to put their athletes in the best situation possible and just playing really, really hard with great effort.
How do you guys kind of deal with being one of the teams in the ACC with the target on your back?
How do we feel?
Yeah, just and does that fuel you? Does it change how you prepare, or is it just more about what you guys do?
I mean, it's always really about us. You know, your opponents are faceless, but this is what we wanted. This is what we prepared for, and it just the motivation pretty much stays itself, because if you prepare like every game is a national championship, if you practice like every game, every practice is leading up to that national championship, your standard is going to stay at this level. So no matter who you play or how you're playing, you're going to find a way to elevate and try to continue to keep getting better.
Chad.
I think I read where at Texas A&M they called you Jimmy Chitwood. Is that right? So it doesn't look like you liked that nickname, but
I mean, they've called me a lot of names.
I was going to say, have you had any other nicknames from family, coaches over the years? Anything that sticks?
Some of them I can't repeat on camera. Most of them from my dad or the coaching staff I grew up around in Longview. But, I mean, you know, a couple of them that date way back, you know, like White Lightning or whatever, like just stuff like that. Just kind of joking around. Pony Boy or something like that. Can't say the other one, but those are the top ones, I guess you'd say.
Kelly.
You came in kind of as a gunslinger. Now you have this MO of being a run first quarterback. Is it interesting to you to see like teams sell out to stop the run? And given the way like your career actually started, you were really a guy that slung the ball around and still can do that, and obviously did at the end of the Wake game. But like, do you find it ironic that maybe teams don't understand that aspect of your game?
Oh, for sure. But you know, this is what we've shown so far this season, because each season, each game is a season of their own. So, you know, I'm not really, I guess you'd say, too worried about it or think too much on it. But, you know, going game to game, just take what the defense gives you and keep moving the ball and operating and trying to score as many points as possible.
Anything else for Haynes? Oh, not Chad, I'm sorry.
I know it's a bye week question, but seeing you obviously got back home to Longview, just how cool is that just to go back, you know, obviously see your team play and, you know, kind of where everything started for you?
I mean, the main thing was really just trying to go see my dad. I hadn't seen him at all this season since that little operation. And then got there and then, you know, really didn't know if I was going to the game or not. And he said he was going to try to make it. And I was like, all right, let's go. Because I know he hadn't made any of the games either. That was the first game that he made. But, you know, it's always good seeing old faces I mean, I was around that locker room and those that coaching staff for pretty much all my life. Grew up around it. So it's always really good and feels good just going back home and catching up and getting to see the pretty much family and family friends.
Okay. Anything else? Haynes, thanks, bud.
Thank you all.
Appreciate it.